right, welcome back to Morning Live, and right now in studio I'm joined by Grace Ananda from Forum for African Women Educationalists, and of course their theme is very strong, empowering girls and young women to acquire education for development. Good morning, Grace.
Good morning. How
All
are
right,
you?
fine, thank you. Now, when you talk about empowering women, and of course as Forum for African Women Educationalists, this is so powerful because now, you know, let's go back to African society where a woman at some point wasn't given education. You know, it's been a journey actually. So basically, what do you guys do?
Okay, thank you so much for having me. My name is Grace Ananda, and I'm the program coordinator for FAWE Kenya, which is in full Forum for African Women Educationalists, Kenya chapter. So FAWE Kenya was founded in 1996 as an NGO, and is a member of a network of 33 chapters in sub-Saharan Africa. So, but we have 34. We have 34, the 34th being Zanzibar, being one of, we've put it aside as another chapter because of Tanzania, there's Zanzibar, and then the larger Tanzania. So, FAWE Kenya, we do a lot of work revolving women empowerment and also ensuring girls have quality education. And as you've mentioned, that we've come a long way to ensure that girls' spaces are heard, and also they're provided safe spaces to air their views and also to have quality education. So FAWE Kenya, we work around 3 strategic objectives that are in line with the SDGs, SDG number 4, which is all about quality education. We're also working towards SDG number 17 to ensure that we work with partners, because we can't achieve whatever we are doing without working with partners. And also SDG number 3, where it's all about health, promoting healthcare for everyone.
For everyone, or specifically the women and girls?
For everyone, because if we are saying about everyone, includes women and girls.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Also specifically the female angle.
We work, we have a gender lens in all our program work. So we have quite a number of activities projects that we are running in FAWE Kenya. We have one that is called Adolescent Sexual Reproductive Health, whereby we are advocating for age-appropriate sexual information to be shared with young girls. We also have another project on STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and maths. We want to ensure that girls enroll in ICT or science courses.
Interesting. Now, it's clear from the conversation is all about empowerment. Now, some quarters are complaining that it's a little bit kind of scary when women and young girls are overpowered. It's becoming a sense whereby now, you know, going back to an African society where we didn't have scorecards. Even in a setup where maybe there's marriage, there's maybe a career or maybe a working environment whereby now, as a woman, as Grace, you cannot actually just come from nowhere and try and maybe be against my idea as a woman. But we're seeing things changed actually, whereby women are in leadership, women are so much in top spaces as far as now careers are concerned, and even in traffic, majority of the women are the ones driving. Goodness, just this little bit of the examples I'm talking about. Now, do you think maybe the notion of maybe even some of our MPs, they refuse to pass the third gender rule in Parliament? Still, there's fear. Looking at that also, do you think there's also the aspect of now of empowerment and fear of the women coming to take over now?
What I would say, we've come from very firm, and we are hopeful that in future we'll have more women in leadership. We'll have more young women also participating in decision-making processes. And it's progressive. I'll not say that the government has not done so much support to women, but there's still need for women to be given that opportunity. For them to air their views, for them to be protected, for them to do courses that initially they were meant to be for men or for boys, like for example the sciences courses that FAWE is really advocating for, and also for you've had cases of young girls dropping out of school due to maybe teenage pregnancy when they've gotten pregnant, others due to harmful cultural practices. These are some of the things that FAWE is really advocating for, to ensure that girls are not supposed to drop out of school or they are denied their right to access quality education because of harmful cultural practices like FGM, and also due to teenage pregnancy that makes them to drop out of school.
It's true.
And I would really want to say that we are happy as FAWE. We've come a long way. We've been advocating for re-entry policy to ensure that girls who have dropped out of school due to teenage pregnancy or they just had they got pregnant. Now getting back to school is a bit hard.
Difficult, sure.
And we've got support from the government and also teachers. They're ensuring they have safe spaces so that as much as you drop out of school because you're pregnant, you can still achieve your dream by going back to school.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. In fact, interesting. Tanzania had banned that, but a good thing Magufuli, I think, thought otherwise and returned it to space, because now there's no way you can ban a young girl who's pregnant from going back to school.
No.
Wow, interesting. Now let's go back to one of the projects you have. When you mentioned that consent of a sexual period, whereby, for example, there's a very weird proposal of a 16-year-old now can be allowed to have sex. You know, it was 18 now.
Yes.
Yeah, and then the consent and everything, so that at least it doesn't bring more problems. What's your opinion? Because now you deal with these things, as this is your core business. Now, your opinion of the sexual age to be reduced to 16. How are you guys taking that?
For me, I would say let girls be girls and let girls decide when they want to get pregnant and when they would want to have sex.
So that means,
But we can't deny that these young girls don't engage in sex, some of them. And what I would really, my opinion is, if they are given age-appropriate information on sexual reproductive health rights, we'll have reduced cases of teenage pregnancy. We cannot deny that these girls, they don't know anything about sex. But we should find a mechanism how we can give them information that is going to be helpful to them. And it's also going to help them achieve their future goal. So for me, about 16-year-olds, it's free for them to have sex. If this girl really knows the consequences, if you have unprotected sex, you can easily get pregnant, you can get sexual reproductive, you can get STIs and all that. So if you have this information that if I start engaging in sex at this age, these are the consequences.
So you're just talking about 16 and above, not below 16. That's what you're trying to push forward?
For me, I would, if it has to be, it has to be not 16 years old.
You're back to...
No, not 16 years old. But if they really know the consequences, that's fine. That's why it's important to have the sexual reproductive health information to be in our curriculum.
Amazing. All right. You mentioned STEM, another project actually you guys are having. And it's a very brilliant idea, because science, technology, engineering, mathematics has been something even men avoid that thing. Big time. But we're seeing also the CBC coming in place, the competency-based curriculum coming in place, and it will be easier for now someone to, someone has a liberty to do what maybe he or she thinks will actually propagate or maybe catapult his or her career. But now, we're talking about her. Now, what's the state on the ground, just as far as now the young ladies are taking these courses?
We are working in 40 schools in the country, and we've realized that there's increased number of girls taking up science courses, and we have our mentors who are coming in to encourage them to take these courses. And if you look back during my days when I was in high school, we had less number of girls taking up science courses. But this one has changed because of continuous sensitization and also encouraging girls. This is not only for boys or for men. It's also you as a girl, you can decide to do a science course. So there's an increase of girls taking science courses.
Okay. Yes. Now, of course, free education, there's so many things. These days, you'll get a D and the government will force you to at least join an institution. Or maybe from primary school. It's called a transition. That transition is proving to be working some places, but also, do you think women now and the young girls should embrace now the aspect, yes, guys have come a long way. We can't accept, we can't deny that. But trying to embrace the fact that there's still some sense of gap, you know, to protect a woman, you have to start with the man.
Yes.
Yes. Now, as much as you're dealing directly with the women, is there any way you're dealing with the men? Because now, you want to protect a woman, but you can't protect a woman from a woman. You protect a woman from a man. So how do you do that?
For us to have that fairness and also to have safe spaces for girls and young women, it's important for us to work with men to support our girls, to support our women, young women, to achieve their goals. So we the higher percent of our work is we work with young girls and women, but also we work with men to support these young girls and women to achieve their dreams. So we don't want to leave men behind because they're supposed to support us. We are not working as only like women, but we need men also to come on board and also to support girls to have safe spaces and also to achieve their goals. Yes.
Amazing. So maybe a good example where men have been involved, just trying to push your agenda.
We have mentorship program, as I said earlier. And FAWE, Kenya, for you to be a member, you have to register. And we have some men who are also members of FAWE. So they come in and give talks to encourage young women and also young girls, just to ensure they achieve their goals. So we have mentors also, members of FAWE who are also men who come on board.
Amazing. So entrepreneurship programs, you have some?
Yes, we do entrepreneurship program with young women. We give them capacity on how they can save, how they can generate income using the little resources they have. Yes. So we work with young women in the counties that we are working in Kajiado.
So only Kajiado?
We have a project in Kajiado for young women empowerment. Yes, that one is what is working there. But generally, apart from entrepreneurship, we also offer scholarship.
Amazing. Amazing.
Scholarship for young women. And we've got support from MasterCard Foundation. Yes.
Amazing. So as we're finalizing this conversation, where is it right now? Are you confident we're heading in the right direction, whereby now the key one has been safe space. It wasn't there some time back. Right now we are seeing it's coming through, but looking at even how the women, you know, you might educate a woman, you might empower a woman, but look at the femicide rates in this country. Like still very worrying. These people, if you look very carefully, most of them are empowered. You'll empower them, but they're not safe in their houses.
Yeah, it's something that we as women, we are really thinking about it, why it's really happening in our country. And there's need for the public and the government to come in to support women and also to address this issue. We've had cases of young girls being killed. It's been there in rampant and so worrying. We expect our men to come on board and to support us, to protect young girls and young women from being killed, for them to have a safe environment, even to walk. So we really want to have men to come on board and also to the government to come and speak about it and to put measures. If there is a way to have some policy is it implementation or review or sensitization? If it's there, it has to come out strongly so that the public is aware, if you do this, these are the consequences. Because we don't want to have generation whereby we have increased number of young women and girls being killed. Yeah, it's so alarming in our country.
Okay. So finally, your last sentiments?
I would want to say that we want men to come and support girls and young women to have safe spaces for them to realize their dream. And we also want to advocate for young girls to join or to enroll in STEM, science and technology and mathematics courses. And also for the community, the government, line ministries, the Ministry of Health, and also the Ministry of Education, to ensure that we have comprehensive sex education in our curriculum, and it's been embraced by both teachers, our parents,
all round
the religion. It has to be supported for us to have increased enrollment, transition, and also completion, especially for the young girls.
But that was tricky for you, I understand. It was heavy for you to make a decision. 16, 18, wow.
It was quite
difficult for you. Anyway, thank you so much, Grace, for coming. I really appreciate your efforts. You're doing a good job empowering our young girls. Because at the end of the day, I understand, you know, even men, we have daughters. So these are our girls, actually. You can't escape from that fact. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. And I'm looking forward to have a continuous conversation.
We will be following up with you all the time. And thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Okay. That's all we had for you right here on Morning Live. My name is Nick Mudimba. Joyce Omondi Wehiga is coming up next with Full Circle. Stay tuned to Switch TV.